Hey there everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris Holme. We are playing some more Franchise Hockey Manager 6 today with your Montreal Canadiens. I had a busy time. I went and did some trades. I looked at the trading block, see who was available, and there were a few people I actually kind of really liked on there. So we went out, we made some adjustments. We stacked draft picks, we did trades, we got rid of the bulk of the unsigned draftees. We had quite a lot I didn't think would make it. And let's do a backups. And let's face it, later rounds of the draft or even in free agency, you can get a lot of those backup types easily. So rather than hoard our own set and try and develop from within, we can always just pick those up as we go. But mainly for me, it was about getting rid of a lot of the draft picks that we'd accumulated through that process to get the good guys that make a difference now. So clear out the depth that we didn't need to get draft picks and then flip those for good players. Now, we had to make one or two moves. It did mean Varlamov came in and went out, but we certainly upgraded there with John Gibson coming in. Now, why a player like John Gibson on a 7-year deal at $6.4 million? Why he would ever be on the trade block, I do not know. But he was, and that's just the way it seems to have worked out. Not only him, but then you've got players like Dougie Hamilton. Again, another player I really, really think will be good for us here. I think that he's a very solid player all round. I like the way he plays the game. We just dumped a bunch of picks off. Basically, they were trying to get rid of him. So 4 fourths and a second, gets us a third back as well as Dougie. But yeah, I don't see why he'd ever be on the trade block again. But like Boston gave him up, Calgary gave him up. He's a very solid player, and he immediately becomes our star defenseman. So he replaces Shea Weber in that regard. John Gibson comes in and replaces Carey Price, no bother whatsoever. We get much younger. The contracts are very good. Dougie's got a new deal on the way as well. So, I don't know kind of what some of these teams are thinking. And then we got Johnny Gaudreau, Johnny Hockey himself. Again, in that same age range, 26. Coming into his prime, decent contract for his ability. I really like his ratings. I think he's an absolutely fantastic goal scorer. A year ago, he was, pretty high up on people's lists of sort of top wingers in the game after a fantastic season. Maybe he hasn't done sort of too much this year to kind of stay up there, but fantastic. Again, just a couple of picks, second and a third, to get someone like Johnny Gaudreau in his prime on a decent contract. I don't really see how that's going to affect us. We're not giving up first for these players at all. So that's pretty good. I think we did for Gibson. We had to. Yeah, we threw Varlamov plus Ilkinen, who I kind of liked. If we look at Johnny Ilkinen, 3-star prospect, a little bit of a defensive forward, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that. Hill is as well another decent center prospect and a first and a second. We give up a lot to go get John Gibson. But then again, you're getting possibly the best goalie in hockey on a good deal for a long time. Like, it solves the most problematic position in hockey with the league's best until he's 33 on a team-friendly deal. I'm giving up a first for that. And it's our first, so if we win the cup, it would be like 31st overall, which again wouldn't get you anyone near John Gibson's level. So yeah, we give up a hell of a lot to get him, but it's a big impact he has on the team. Also available was Thomas Hurtle, and I kind of almost didn't because, we brought in a couple of good players already, and that centre position is quite good right now. Spoiler alert, I've got someone else maybe coming in to replace McShane as well, send McShane down, as well as another backup goalie, so we'll have 4 goalies in rotation, just in case we need them. So we'll have a look at that in a second, but yeah, I almost didn't do it, but it's Thomas Hurtle. Another player I like a lot. And again, he's 26. He's in that exact same role, that we need. Just another offensive forward. Someone who's going to be a really good player. Can always move him out to the wing if we need to. We've got an overabundance of talent now up front. So we can probably flip some of the second, third liners that we've got, because we've got other players in now already to replace them. And then those draft picks can come in and restock the pool. It's pretty good there. That we can sustain ourselves through the draft and through a couple of free agency signings at that point. But I like the way he plays. He's a little physical, very good sort of team player, but a leadership professionals. We like that. And just an all-round offensive guy. He's not weak in defense. So, again, 26, that's the age range we're looking. 26, 27, 26 for all those guys we brought in. And then I went out and added another trade block player. So, Les Lindholm, again, a pretty good guy. He's used to playing with Johnny Gaudreau, so if they're on the same line, that's great. Got a second back, swap seconds basically. We'll put a third, as well as Verbeek, a young winger prospect, and Byron, who is a centre prospect, centre player. But yeah, 25 fits, again, that age range, fits the skill set I'm looking for. More of a defensive winger, which we do lack. But again, a really, really nice all-round player. So I think we really did strengthen quite well. We also got a prospect or 2 in. We got... Where is he? There he is. Leighton Ahak. Another left defenseman, 3-star potential. But I like the way he's kind of built right now. He's kind of not great offensively, but good puck handling to take it out of the zone. Good physicals in general. We build on his defense. Hope his mentals get up there. If not, we flip him back for another pick. But again, that 2-way mobile defenseman, it's kind of what I'm looking for right there. So I think we've got a lot of other good young defensemen. About the same level, really. 3 stars. Tumisto's 3.5. All these are 3-star. Johansson's a 3.5. Martin Rafkin. So, 2 3.5s, and all the others are 3 stars. It's really solid defensive depth. I'm pretty happy with that. And we also brought in Grigory Denisenko. Big player for the future, hopefully. Another good young winger. So, we haven't got that many. Now we've got a bunch of people here. And like I say, we can always put people like Thomas Hurtle or Nick Wong out on the right wing. Pono can go out there. Raikkonen can go out there. Hirvonen can go out there. So it's all about then moving these guys back over to the left, maybe. Yeah, we can move Drew in, Lakeinen out there. Probably end up trading someone like Brendan Gallagher if there's a market for him. So, say we can open up these spots. We certainly can, but I do think we got much better. And yeah, Smirnov as well came in earlier on in the off-season. So this is our roster. I think we're pretty good right now. Look at the age, 29 down to 19. Good spread there. No real veterans, but I'm not expecting us to make a playoff push. I'm expecting this to be a better roster to kind of get us towards the playoffs. And honestly, I think just adding John Gibson probably gives us a good shot at that. And then goaltenders are worth their weight in gold. during the playoffs. So I see that as a very good move for us. Probably going to go Chicherin and Dougie Hamilton on the first line. Then someone like Mete with Dobson on the second. And then maybe Pellick and Edmondson on the third with Brook as cover. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Let's move you over to right defense, just so we got the numbers in the right place. But yeah, and then first line, left wing is going to be Johnny Gaudreau. Second, probably Domi. Third, Tatar. Fourth, probably Poling. Smirnov there as good backup and able to move around some players, as we saw. So much position flexibility. I'm probably going to want to go with Lindholm on the first line, just because he's got that sort of chemistry with Johnny Gaudreau. Jonathan Drouin on the second. Elias and Jonathan, I think, are great production players. Gallagher probably dips to the third line then, but him, Thomas Tatar, and it would be, Kotkaniemi. That's a filthy third line if you ask me. And then my fourth lines would be Lekkonen, guy to replace McShane, and whoever's left over here with good backup, a 2-star there, a 1.5 year in Cole Caulfield, and then McShane dropping down, as I say. So I'm happy with that. Let me know what you think of the team. The depth chart as well shows how much we've actually got. And those Russians, like, we trade for Denisenko, but we go in the draft and pick up Askarov and Ponomaryov. And then we just got a bunch of good 3-star talent all the way down. I'm pretty happy. Like I say, we did give up a first. We gave up like 3 seconds and a few thirds during all those trades, as well as all our fourths. So, first 2 seconds and a third for this year, first 2 seconds and a third for next year, and the first 2 seconds and a third for the year after. I'm very happy how that worked out. We can double dip in the second. We can use it to move players around. I'm very happy. I did want to keep 2/3 as well. But when a player like John Gibson comes around, that eats up a lot of the trading assets. Dougie Hamilton I needed. Johnny Gaudreau we needed. Thomas Hertel we needed. Elias Lindholm we needed. That starting 5, the top 5 in our depth chart, like that all came in this season off the trade block. Which blows my mind that level of talent is available. Especially after adding a new team to the league, which should dilute the pool a little bit more. So yeah, we couldn't get the job done in free agency. We've definitely got a good situation now after the expansion draft and the entry draft. I'm very happy. And we will be keeping it on the trade block. If anything else does come in, we will be looking at it. But for right now, we're in rebuild mode. Well, that's the kind of rebuild I can get behind. We still lack on defense, but if we give it time, it's going to come in. We're stacked on offense after this season. I'll trade away maybe some players like Tatar, Gallagher. They might be leaving. Depending how Hertel does, maybe we can ship him back out as well. Those are the kind of players maybe we can drop off here, see the others pick up the slack, and then reinvest elsewhere into the team. Nobody's an upcoming free agent. We've still got these players here, unsigned draftees. So, although we've got a lot of talent already called up, we also have a bunch of prospects. Let me take you back to that for a second. So, yeah, we got Primo, we got Struble, we got Bolduc and Romanov. We've got Martins. There's 4 defensemen and a goaltender right there. And then Olofsson is also called up. Now, none of these are like superstar players in waiting. They're all just very solid 3-star young depth players. So they're all playing down in the AHL. We'll see how they develop. But at the same time, as you can see, we've still got a little while to wait on signing these. Johansson's going to have to be called up. But yeah, I mean, it's so good. Nick Wong is the worst of the bunch. And I kind of like Nick Wong. Kind of like Nick Wong for a depth piece. And I think he's got decent trade value. So, yeah, I'm not going to worry about that. But no, overall, I really, really like where we're at. So, I was told to go into rebuild mode. I did that. I've picked up who I can. We got Garrett Sparks here, who's another a 2.5-star backup goalie. Just a backup in the AHL. A pretty cheap deal for him, $700,000. And then Johan Larsson to come in instead of McShane for that fourth line center position. $2 million we can afford to spend, but really solid defensively. And I think he'll be a decent pickup for a couple of seasons. So that's what we've done. That's where we are. And I didn't go in and set them before. Brendan Gallagher continues to be the captain, best leader we've got. I then give an alternate to Thomas Hurtle. I like to look at these stats here. I'm not too worried about bravery so much, but determination, team play, leadership, temperament, and professionalism, they all kind of mean a lot to me. So with Gallagher, good captain. Hurtle, very, very good assistant. Probably takes over as captain when Gallagher leaves, unless we bring someone else in who's just good across the board. And then Dougie Hamilton, I think, is a very nice assistant as well. So we've got the winger, we've got the center, and we've got the defenseman. I'm pretty happy with how that all works out. I don't think anybody's on a bad contract at all. I really like where we are right now. We're not paying these young guys yet. By the time we do, these guys will be turning 30 and get shipped out anyway, so there's cap room to move into. I can see a succession plan. Like, the ability right now, we just brought in so many of these top guys and improved the team. So I'm very, very happy. And where we're going looks even better. So, yeah. And we've got more draft capital at the top end of the draft, not the back end going forward as well. So let me know what kind of job you think I did with those moves. Do you think I did a good thing or a bad thing? Where do you agree and disagree with how I did things, what I did, etc.? You let me know what you feel. And we can, I can take that on board and see where we go. I think we gave up a lot. I think we gave up very little on every single move we've made, apart from Gibson. Gibson's the one I think that we paid a fair price or over a price. Everybody else was probably slightly under what I expected to pay, which maybe means I'm misvaluing our own players and picks. I don't know. I did trade our picks and kept the ones we brought in from other teams just in case we have good seasons. Now, that could come back and bite us. But overall, I think I'm happy with how we did in this offseason. So, yeah. Let's get on to the season and see kind of how this team simulates and where we get. I did bring in Gerard Gallant as our new head coach. I always look for tactics and in-game tactics, playing management, and discipline. He didn't have very much discipline. He had the rest. I don't mind his style of playing. I think it's pretty decent. We've got a couple of decent physical players. We're going to see how that works out. Everything else is pretty decent. Yeah, $2 million on the board for him. A long contract just in case. We've got money to spend. I just brought in a new skills coach, so Mueller wasn't doubling up. Ainsley there to be a new trainer, new goalie coach in Slajko, and Todd Richards takes over there. A bunch of new scouts who are just very good. I normally go for the potentials. We did that. And we also got some good places we can scout. So, former USSR, Europe at large, Nordic Europe, England, Central Europe here. We can just spread all over, basically. We can spread all over, but I like the coverage we've got. At least 2 in all the major regions. I asked the computer to set it up, and they will be handling that. And of course, a great scout in terms of ability to actually scout out the NHL. I probably want to get an AHL scout. Don't I? So I clear his job and then assign job. Sometimes I do this. Work our way. Yeah, work our way down, because this is going into the NHL. National Hockey League. Report back every 8 weeks. Permanent. Okay, so he's now set up just to keep going. And then we're going to want someone who's good at judging talent. Maybe not very good, maybe just good. I don't need that many in upstate New York. So let's clear your job. And then send you to the AHL, and thankfully he is able to do that. 8 weeks, everything. Yeah. I think that's set up okay. Oh no, wait a second. I don't want to scope potential in the AHL first. Possibly so. So we got 2 permanent scouts then, AHL and NHL set up. Everyone else looks really good right now. I'm pretty happy with that. So now we can go and get ready. We got the preseason start. It's going to take a while to get there. But any interesting things come up, I'll bring them up to you and you can see as we go. Looks like Garrett Sparks is coming in. So we'll see about that. And John Larson as well. We'll see about that. We've got a couple of numbers to do. You can have your 36, of course. Malcolm Subban. Give you 82. Yeah, he's fine with that. Good. Lovely. So yeah, we've got a couple of players that may come in. Like I say, Larson to come into the lineup, Sparks to be a backup. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with all that. So, yeah, if anything interesting comes in, trades, that kind of thing, we will pick them up and I'll show them to you as they come up. But apart from that, we're just going to sim through towards the trading deadline, and then I'll let you guys come back with feedback on, do you think we need to make some moves? If so, who and how? So, yeah. They're both just in the Canadiens' main roster. So, yeah, no, Sparks can definitely be back up down there. So we've got 4 goaltenders we can call on. And then push McShane down, 72 million. We're well above the cap. We're well under the... we're well above the floor. We're well under the cap. I think we're in great position with this team. Larson on the 4th line. So I'd probably, go Hurtle, Suzuki, Kotkaniemi, and then Larson. I think that's a solid center core. We've improved so much elsewhere. Oh, I'm looking forward to this now. I think we go from being a bottom 10 team to possibly a playoff team. We've got a good head coach. We've got a great goaltender. And then we've got an improved roster throughout. And a young roster, one that's only going to get better over the next couple of seasons. We're not in a cap crunch. We can still add more pieces. I don't think we need to. The big contracts we're taking on aren't too big. I'm absolutely loving that. Yeah, we will see you at the deadline, where we can discuss how things are going. Now, if we are dead last or something of that nature, I probably will, regardless of people's opinions, probably will start trading away big name players. Not Gibson. I think Gibson is untouchable for my reign here. Everybody else, I mean, Suzuki, I probably keep, but the players we brought in, Dougie Hamilton, Johnny Gaudreau, Thomas Hurtle, Elias Lindholm, Jonathan Drouin, Brendan Gallagher, all those could be shifted at the deadline. Stack some more first and second round picks where we can get them, and just attack the draft and rebuild properly. But I think we should be in good shape. So unless we're winning the league, in which case we're not going to do anything, maybe we bring in, depending who's on the trade block. And then, of course, if we are losing heavily, we will be a seller. If we're somewhere in the middle, we might make the playoffs. Then that's up to you whether we add anyone in, if anyone looks good. And if anyone's really sort of a superstar in the league that their current team doesn't value, like John Gibson was in this. If there's a nice defenseman, I'm certainly interested in picking that up. So let me know your thoughts. We'll see what develops over the season. But if nothing important happens before then, the next you'll see of us is at that trade deadline. Okay, we're back at the start of preseason, almost at the couple of weeks away from preseason itself. Just looking at the trade block, again, there's some very interesting names I wouldn't really expect to be on here. Like, Matty Dumba is on here. Ryan Raquel, I like him a lot. I always call him Ryan. I don't know why. It's just something that's stuck. Nido as well. William Carlson. Like, I think you can get a good second line, maybe first line, quite easily out of this. Yeah, I don't think they'll be too expensive. I don't think so. But what really surprises me is not only was Gibson up on the block, Vasilevsky's up on the block. Now, the reason I went for Gibson over Vasilevsky was the contract. I don't like that at all. I think they're very similar. If I had to pick one, I think Gibson's probably slightly better right now, but I don't know if Vasilevsky possibly could be the best. But at half the contract, I know which one I'm taking. Then it's Connor Hellebuck. I normally end up picking him up. He's quite cheap in quite a lot of ways. Again, not an outstanding goaltender. One of the few things that keeps the Jets kind of going over time. Jordan Binnington, a great goalie as well, stepping up big for St. Louis over the last couple of years. Bobrovsky, he really shouldn't be a free agent, signing a couple of Vezina winners. Like, he should not be on the trade block after one season in Florida, but apparently he is. And then Carey Price, we traded him across to the Islanders to pick up Varlamov and then flip Varlamov for Gibson. So, yeah. I don't know. Game just does not seem to really value goaltenders, which worries me since I spent big on goaltending, and now I think about it, every time we've done that and we've got a superstar goaltender, haven't they been absolutely terrible? So we'll see how it goes this time, but I just thought that was interesting to pick up. Even lower down, so we got Rittich, you got Antti Ranta there, we've got Lundqvist, 38 but still can go. People like Delia, Mrazek, Comrie. If you're looking for a backup goalkeeper, someone like Ville Husso, Stoltz, very good at that as well. Stolarz, I should say, not Stoltz. But yeah, we've also picked up two of those, one in free agency as well. So, all in all, I'm pretty happy with how things have gone. Nothing really has happened yet, though. So, a couple of minor news items. But once we get into the season, I did turn trades up a little bit. We'll see how the volume of those is. I'd like your opinion back on that as well, whether you want to see more trades, not from us, but league-wide as a whole. And then we can sort of see what we want to do ourselves with trade as situations develop and opportunities become clear. Now, the thing is, as I say, free agency didn't work out for us because we added a new team in. Now, we could add in a further 4 teams and balance out the leagues again. So, that's a possibility. Point. So the whole adding teams aspect is going to be interesting, as well as balancing out the leagues and redistributing teams. So let me know what you think about that. One every year takes 5 years. One every other year, that would take 10 years to add them all in. But yeah, have your say on that. And then the whole trade aspect, as well as, do we start a new save when we take over a team? Or do we keep this a persistent world and keep going? I think I'd like to keep going in this world no matter what, but since we're going to be rebuilding teams and we're going to be, bouncing around and trying GM modes with different teams, that's my intention. I think we need to start new saves, which we might be better off there actually just being, setting up a base save at the end of the first season and having all the new teams added in, and we just go from the 2020 season onwards. So let me know your thoughts on that as well. It will get us slightly in advance of where we are right now, maybe, or where we even pick this one up at the draft at the end of the first season. So let me know what you think. Get back to me on that one. Leave your comments in the section below, and we'll go from there. But I'm just gonna clear out these news items. And it looks like we're gaining a decent amount here. So it's worth checking, in my opinion, the development report, because it sees who makes a big jump forward. And that can give you an idea of who you might want to be calling up, sending down. We've got a young team just all going up, not going down. But people like Bolduck, McShane, Smirnov, they're all new players. They're all gaining. I like the fact that we got some leadership as well. Get some more leadership from Sparks, even though he's a backup. Like, he's really doing okay. So yeah, between Subban and Sparks, we only need one of those to play backup, and even then we've got a young goalie in Primo who we can call up instead. So we'll see how they develop. Gibson gets a little bit tougher. Struble, a little bit more leadership. Don't mind that at all. And welcome back. We're at the trade deadline, and as you can see, things are going okay. We did okay in pre-season. Not amazing, but did okay. We started off a little bit poorly in the beginning of the season. First week was brutal, and then we started stringing some wins, and then a loss, but then some more wins. Then we went on a loss streak with a couple of wins interspersed in between. That lasted through the beginning of December. Then we put 6. Don't ask me why. This team's like really streaky though. We put 6 in a row to bed, and then lost 4 in a row. Win 1, lose 2, win 4 in a row with a shootout over Colorado, defending champions, Colorado Avalanche. And then some losses, and like at this point, like early on in the season, I was like, oh, we're a really bad team. And then at the end of like the first month, I was like, okay, we're just in the playoff picture. Maybe we're a bit too good too early. And then I look at, at the end of each month after that, and I'm like, okay, we're not going to hit the playoffs. We're not doing well. And then we come into December, and I'm like, it's going to take something big here to come in. And like, we had that big, and then we dropped off, and I don't know. I really don't know. So I was looking at January just to see what might happen. And then we just start winning games. Then we lose a couple, but then we start winning more and more. We lose a couple. And then at this point, I'm like, oh my God, coming into February, like, we're amazing. Beginning of February, we could win this division. And then we tail off again. So we're super streaky right now. There aren't that many games. We've got 74 points. That's not too bad. Honestly, that's really not too bad. From what, I think 71 games or something? No, wait. 65. 65 games. So that gives us 17 left to play. And yeah, we're in a weird kind of place right now that I don't really know how to handle. Now, Chitrin actually missed a chunk of the season. He's played 11 games. He was out for about 4.5 months. So we didn't have a bad defenseman in. That may be why we improved slightly with him in the lineup. It's not a huge decrease. But yeah, if we look at the game ratings here, like forwards, nobody's really done much apart from Johnny Gaudreau. Like offensively though, Max Domi has also showed up. Hurtle's been okay, as have a few of the right wingers. Max Domi, Johnny Gaudreau, Nick Suzuki, Elias Lindholm, decent defensive forwards. But really, this much talent, really bad ratings. So it's not coming together. The only unhappy person is Larson, who wants more ice time. We signed him as a fourth-line center. He's not happy with that. He's a very good checking player, though, so kind of want to keep him down there. Don't know what to do about that one. On the defensive side of things, meh. On this right-hand side, apart from Dougie, who is leading the way. And then some excellent defensive performances from Chitrin. Sadly, he wasn't here most of the year. He's still getting fit. Hurtle's coming back from a little bit of an injury himself. Victor Mete, look at that. 81 defensive, 58 offensive. Not great, but decent offense with great defense. 70 rating. Absolutely phenomenal. For young guys, improving, those two really do impress me. I'm really happy with them, honestly. And, of course, Dougie is doing his bit as well. So, I'm kind of excited the next few seasons with those three especially. And then Dobson's only going to get better. Hopefully his ratings grow. You know, Brooks got a long way to go. We got other young defensemen we can use. So, let me know what you think about that sort of picture and how that might develop. Decent goaltending, not amazing. Not what we're paying, but okay, it kind of is what it is. And we sit third alongside Ottawa, who are like fastly developing into a scary team. So yeah, we're 2 points behind them. Toronto are storming away now. That 4 or 5 losses for us towards the end of the or throughout the middle, I should say, towards the end of February. That kind of has hurt us a little bit. You look here though, 208 for, 182 against. Like, it's not far behind. We're in line. Okay, Tampa is the goal scorer, but apart from that, we're in line with the best teams in the division. Defensively, we are the best team in the division. I mean, we're one of the best in the league. I think we're like 4th or 5th in the league total. Maybe 6th or 7th, actually. But, like, St. Louis, that's 145. That's unbelievable. And Pittsburgh, 141. That's disgusting right there. But apart from, yeah, we're doing okay. We're actually handling around 21, 10, and 3, 13, 15, and 3 on the road. We don't travel particularly well. At home, though, we are absolute beasts, and I will take that. So, we're in this weird place where we don't have a top point scorer, don't have a top goal scorer, don't have a top assister. We don't have a goalie who's winning games with a good save percentage or good goals against. They're just not happening. So nobody really is driving this team on. It's the team as a whole. And there's something to be said about that. And we're in a really good position right now. We look at the wildcard standings. Like, if we did get bumped out, then, yeah, sure, we'd be in the wildcard. And then we'd have a little bit of a gap. That can change. Boston, 68 points on the season. Like, they're my big surprise losers this year so far. I don't know how that's going to change things. If we look at the league as a whole, like, we're 14th right now. We're not too far from slipping outside. You know, let's be real. Seattle had a decent start and then backed off. We do actually have their logo and uniforms in, but due to this old bug, I mean, Torrey Krug doesn't have it, but there we go. We can just regenerate. It'll just show the shoulder, but oh, I hate this bug. I really hate this bug, but nothing works. Nothing works. Reloading, changing the save name, going in and editing files, adding, disabling stuff in the firewalls and antivirus I've got. None of that works. So it kind of sucks. But at least we've got them kind of looking as they should. But yeah, I don't know what I want to do right now. I don't know what I want to do. A lot of money's being spent on the good players, and I'm happy with that. Then you got Drouin, who's good offensively, but he's not really doing too much at a big, big price. And then you got Brendan Gallagher. Again, he's captain, but, you know, we could easily move him on. And Thomas Tatar, I think he had a good season last year. And, like, he's just not. He's down further. He's playing a more defensive role. I get that. I get the same there with Gallagher. I get the same with Jonathan Drouin, who's been dropped off the top line. But none of the three have impressed me. And if they're that easy to replace on the top line, where Elias Lindholm hasn't played amazing, but, like, is actually showing up in games and helping the team win, and Hurtle, who's, you know, on a pretty good season so far, like, Nick Suzuki, second line, he's going to have a better season probably than last year. Needs 8 more assists, and that's it. So I'm starting to think these are the guys that if we were out of the playoff picture, I would drop. I would be looking to trade Drouin, Gallagher, and Tatar right now. I'd say Tatar to all three of them. But apart from those, I don't think there's too much work we need to sort of do there. Nobody else being paid big money. The ones that are being paid okay money, I think will be fine. Larson, I mean, if we did trade away Drouin and Gallagher, we'd probably push Suzuki or someone, maybe Kotkaniemi, out to the right wing or out to the wing. He might go to the left, the other two might go to the right. And that will just free up a space where Larson steps up the depth chart in that fashion and solves that problem. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think of these contracts versus production. This is kind of how I look at it. If they're not producing now, and they're on a decent contract like a Lakeinen, he can improve a little bit. You know, that's kind of what I look at. Pelech can improve a little bit. That might see his ratings go up. But they're not really the worrying ones. It's Thomas Tatar, Brendan Gallagher, and Jonathan Drouin right now. But if you are in the playoffs, you want a player like Drouin. You want the leadership of Brendan Gallagher, and you kind of want that tough forward player like Thomas Tatar. So, I don't know which way to kind of play that. But yeah, again, I think we're okay. I don't think we really need to make any moves. I haven't looked at the trade block, but I think the position we're in, I think it would be slightly stupid to trade away players, given that we're close to falling back out of the playoffs. I'd like to make the playoffs if at all possible at this stage. So I think what we need to do now is see if there's anything that makes sense. Like, why is he on the block? I mean, he does improve us. Why is he on the block? Ooh, I mean, he could be interesting. 100%. Tachonic, I mean, we haven't even scouted him. We have scouted him. Okay, so, I mean, I like the players. I do like both those players from other players. Philip Broberg. Like, last year, not the draft we just did, but the year before, 8th overall. 8th overall. Less than, 2 years later, after he goes 8th overall, playing kind of okay, he's on the trade block. Oh, I'm tempted. I'm really, really tempted. We don't need that many defensemen, but I mean, Addison's a 5-star, fully scouted. I mean, come on. He'd be 2-star right defenseman. Like, even if I gave up Brook for him, it would be good. If I could trade Perlick and a pick, we don't lose anything right now. He performs better across this season. Limited game time, for sure. But he's been playing slightly better. Same ability. Much more potential. Younger player. Like, they just want to dump him. They just want to dump him. You're going to have to explain that one to me, guys. You're going to have to explain that one to me. Okay. Cody. Casey. Who's Cody? Oh, Cody Eking. Not Sezikis. I almost brought in Eking earlier. Not gonna lie, I had a look at the trade block and almost went and picked him up to replace Larson, who was unhappy. So Casey Sezikis is solid, but I don't think he brings anything. He would still be in that Larson spot. Mike Hoffman's there and Getzlaff. I mean, there's a couple of players we could take that would be possibly good in terms of leadership. Like team player leadership. If we do want to go on to a cup run, if we think we're anywhere close, we can always do that. But what would we have to give up? What would we have to give up? Jeff Petrie is there as well. I don't really see anything that I really want to pick up here. I've got to be honest. If I would trade away players, if I am getting rid of some right wingers, yes, we can move out somebody. I don't know who, but somebody we can make a move from center out to the wing. But we could always bring in someone like Sam Bennett too, which is just kind of a good all-round two-way hockey player. We can play him in center. He's another option, really, that we could replace Larson with. But I feel that that's just kicking the can down the road. He's going to be unhappy on that fourth line as well. So I don't think there's anything there. If we could get Addison without giving up much, I might be on board. I might actually be on board. Okay, so we got a well-balanced offer. It's Cale Addison, who we like, for Josh Brook, who I don't think is that much worse. I mean, a bit worse, yeah. but not that much worse. Alan McShane, who I'd be willing to give up because I think we've got enough centre prospects. I like him, but he's currently unhappy he's not in the NHL, and I can't blame him. And then Sammy Baldock, who is just one of the 3-star defensemen we have. And again, I like him, and he's young, and he can develop, but really this is about improving us and 2/3. I'm not sure I like the price there. I mean, 2/3. 2/3. What can I get with 2/3? I mean, what did we get in the third round? What did we get in the third round? We got Hirvonen. We also got Reichel. Fourth round got us Nick. Oh, wasn't Nick Wong like a 2.5 star? Okay, so be it. Okay. Okay. But yeah, so he's there, and then the second rounders being Ravkin and Pono. They're both there. Third round, the year before was Fairbrother, apparently. Like, yeah. Three-star players. So, we're giving away 2 3-stars, 3 3-stars. Yeah, so 3 3-star players and 2 3.5s to get a 5-star potential. I don't think I can do that deal. I just can't do that deal. Yeah, no. Okay. Let me see if there's a deal I can do here. Who would I give up here? What would I give up for a Lundqvist? Martin? Do I like Martin? How much do I like Martin? I think Martin's... I've got him listed as defensive, which I like. I could give up Brooke. How much does that do? That's just a well-balanced... I'm not convinced on that one. Broberg's defensive. Broberg and... Ooh, who would I give up here? I think Bolduck. Solid, but I think Broberg's gonna end up better. I mean, he was the throw-in pick. I didn't really go after him. Ooh, a third would be good. I mean, okay, a third would be good. If a third would be good, can I trade that third and get something back? Could I get your third in there? Broberg for Bolduck. I don't know. Let me know what you think. That might be the deal to make. Sammy Bolduc for Philip Broberg, swapping Carolina's third for Edmonton's. Yeah, let me know what you think. We'll attack that in the next one. But so far, so good. I mean, we're on course to do something. This doesn't move the needle at all right now. It's also something we can revisit later, but he is on the trade block. So yeah, I don't think there's anything worthwhile in free agency right now. There are also players ready to come up next season. So let me know what you think. Until then, thanks very much for watching. I do appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Until then, y'all take care. And let me know what deals make sense. How do you think we're doing so far? What do you want to see more and less of? Like, comment, subscribe, all that good things. You know the drill. I'll see you back here soon.